I picked up this board from Lowe's. It's 4 feet by 7.5 inches wide. And I'm going to start by priming it. Now, I used to get the 4x9 clear pine boards, and this is a riser. I believe they use this wood for stairs, and I'm going to tell you it is a little rougher than the regular pine boards, but with the price of wood, this is a little bit cheaper. I think I got this for $8 versus the now $15 for the pine board. So I covered it with the Wise Owl white primer, and this will keep any bleed through, the knots coming through. And I'm going to cover it with the 1 hour enamel clear, giving each stage time to completely dry. I believe the primer takes 4 hours, and then the 1 hour enamel is a 1 hour dry time. I usually wait at least overnight. I picked up this welcome sign from Hobby Lobby. They are $5.99. And mine obviously has been used before, but I like to use them several times before I open a new one. And I'm going to use a foam roller. And as you can see, I loaded on one plate and then I unloaded on another. And this is how you get that dry roller that I talk about. Now I'm going to pass down the board, and as you can see, I'm not really covering all the letters. I think sometimes this is the problem with the bleed through, is we spend too much time in one direction. So I went down and then I went sideways. And you don't really want to press down. You don't want to push the paint through the stencil. Make one more pass down. Now, as you can see, it didn't really give a nice covering of the black. So I'm going to hit a blow dryer on this and dry my paint, and then pass down one more time, going straight down very lightly and then side to side. And now I'm getting that coverage I'm looking for. And again, I normally don't have to pass twice on that clear pine. This is a little bit of a rougher wood. I'm going to take my art brush and connect all my letters. Now, because of the rougher wood, there's channels, like the grooves of the wood. I hope I'm making sense. The grooves of the wood are deep, so you have these little channels that can cause bleed through. It has nothing to do with the way that I stenciled. Sometimes it's just unavoidable. And I did get a little bleed through of paint that just seeped into the channels of the grooves of the wood. The way that I fix this is that I go and give it a nice sanding. I'm almost distressing my letters. And it's taking your eye away from any bleed through, and it really does, you're basically going to go with it, right? So I'm taking, I believe my grit here is probably about 100, and I'm sanding away some of that lettering, and then I'm going to go back with my baby wipe, because remember, we have that barrier. If I did black sanding on white paint, I would be hard to get that paint out. But because of that 1 hour enamel barrier, I was able to use the wipes. This is Evergreen Florals. This is a very soft greens and like a blush pink. There's some pine cones, poinsettias. This is definitely a winter Christmassy type transfer. It's called Evergreen Florals. And as you can see, everything's very mute. Very farmhouse, in my opinion. If you're into that farmhouse look or just want a very nice, soft board. It is much prettier in person because of the softness. It's kind of hard to show on camera. And these are the 3 panels that comes with that particular transfer. You can find it at chalkitupfancy.com. This is really pretty. You can see it has some of that cotton, the poinsettias, and it's just that nice soft sagey green. And this last one has some pine cones and some green poinsettias with the berries in the center. Very pretty. So now you want to make a plan. So I didn't need the entire transfer for this board, but I did take the one flower from that last panel with the pine cone, and I'm going to put this at the bottom. So your transfer comes with a top protective sheet and a bottom protective sheet. The top is clear, the bottom is white. We're going to pull the bottom off, and now you have to be careful. You can't touch with anything. I kind of hover over my board and then place it down where I want it. Each transfer comes with a wood stick. And because my board is a little rougher, it is going to take a little bit more rubbing to get it to adhere. The smoother your surface, the easier it is for these to, the faster they come off. You can wrap your transfers around the edge, as I'm showing you here, or you can cut it right at the edge. It's really up to you. But what I do is I start on the edges first. And once I get my edges established, then I start moving from the edges towards the center. And I'm being very gentle as I'm pulling away, as I'm rubbing. You can kind of tell when it's ready. If I start to lift and a piece is not staying, you lay it right back down and just continue to rub. Once your transfer has released, this is very important to take a soft cotton cloth. I'm actually using a piece of paper towel, and you want to spend time rubbing your transfer. This is called burnish. And I'm just rubbing it into the wood and making sure that it is fully adhered. Now this is the top. Again, I have so many pretty images to pick from, but I kind of wanted my top to look like it's kind of draping down. So I'm going to take this large green and this pinkish poinsettia with the cotton. I'm probably not going to get the full image on, but this one I'm going to cut right to the edge so I can show you the difference. You can either have your image wrap around or you can cut it where it just goes right to the edge. I released it and laid it down. Now, this particular tool, you can find this at chalkitofancy.com. It is it's an upgrade. It's not necessary. The reason I like it is because it is wider, so it passes over a larger area at one time. It has a lot of different edges. It has a bigger side, shorter side, some round edges, just for different. If you're doing transfers all the time, this tool is nice. If you're just going to do them once in a while, the stick is perfectly fine. And again, I'm starting with my edge and moving towards the center. And you don't want to force your image to come up. You want to be very gentle. And again, if a piece does not adhere, you lay it back down and you keep rubbing till it releases. I'm going to take my cloth and do my burnish. I like to spend time doing this. And actually, I will wait 24 hours and I will rub it again prior to putting my top coat on. I decided to take a little sliver of an evergreen and have it come off my O. And I have plenty of transfer to use on other projects. Again, you want to burnish. And now I'm going to set this aside for 24 hours. And just make sure everything is fully dry, adhered, and I have no issues. Now, once everything is good to go, I'm going to apply my 1 hour enamel clear. Guys, our varnish does not do well with the transfers. But our 4-ounce container that you can get at chalkitofancy.com is enough to probably do 2 boards. I do recommend at least 2 coats of this. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. For other tutorials, go check us out on YouTube. You can now watch all our videos at chalkitofancy.com. For any paint products, tissue paper transfer, or mesh stencils, chalkitofancy.com. Thank you so much.